Hey guys, it's Marcus Inlet from Big Time Super Friends, and sorry for the delay on this Star Wars The Last Jedi review. We just wanted to make sure that everyone got a chance to see it, because this review is full of spoilers. And this is going to be an interesting one, because normally me and Leo are on typically the same page. I mean, 80% of the time, 85% of the time.
We have a similar taste.
Similar taste, but this time around, there was a major difference between us.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Leo liked it. So, without further ado, you've been warned again. Spoilers. Enter at your own risk.
This one, it almost like, and I've been doing my homework, dude. I've been watching so many reviews on this movie because I'm sort of divided, but I can't. I don't even make sense. I like the movie. And when we first talked about it, I think we both agreed there are problems. You had a bigger issue with the problems.
Yeah.
And I think that I accepted it a little faster, although it took me like a day or two to accept it. But overall, I think the plot is, it's refreshing. It's what I expected. It's what I expected The Force Awakens to be, honestly.
I think the plot of this movie was the most horrible thing in this movie, period.
Okay.
I don't think there was a plot. I think they were just fucking winging it, bro. From the beginning to end, they were just like... There was essentially three stories in this movie. There was the Rey and Luke story, or Rey and Kylo story, right? That bunch. Then there's the Canto Bite scene with Finn and Rose.
It's the Resistance actually trying to find a way to break away from the from the Empire.
Then there's like Poe and Leia. So this movie takes place in pretty much three locations, right?
Yeah.
The island where Lucas is hiding out.
Octo.
Yeah, and then there's Canto Bite, the fucking Finn and Rose shit, and then the actual shit within the
space.
Ship, in space in the ship, right?
Right. The chase, yeah.
The thing about this that I really well, let me just say this. When I first watched the movie, the first 20 minutes, there was a lot... the opening scenes, action, right?
Yeah.
Action, explosions, space battles. But for some oddball reason, I felt like, okay, this is... Okay, I'm seeing the explosions. I'm seeing the fucking blast. But for some reason, it's moving... I'm looking around, and I'm just like, is it me, or is this thing moving a little slow?
Like the scene where... with everything that Poe was trying to do?
Like, just the pacing of that... From like... I like I said, I saw the action, but I didn't feel the intensity of this scene.
I felt it.
I felt like it was just molasses, bro. Like it wasn't moving anywhere. And first of all, the first thing that took me out of this movie, okay, the one thing that I was just immediately was like, ooh, what was that? Like, was the Snoke scene, okay? Or not even the Snoke scene. It was the interaction between Snoke and Kylo Ren, because from The Force Awakens, I thought...
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go before that.
Maybe even before that,
I'm
bro,
going to go
to be honest with you. I'm just being a little nice about it.
I'm going to go Hux and Poe Dameron. I'm holding for General Hux.
Oh, yeah,
because,
dude. Okay.
And you know what? I had no problem.
No, you're correct on that one.
I had no problem with Poe being like, I'm holding for Hux. Stalling, right? By any means. Even if he's going to be like a little goofy, right? I mean, he was like that with Kylo Ren when he first met. Who's going to talk first? You talk first, I talk first? I can't talk to you through this whole thing. You know, that whole thing, it's just a lot. I've heard a lot of people mention that. I agree. It felt like that. But Hux sort of broke character when he was sort of like, that confused face, like it's almost like a smile wanted to break, like he wanted to laugh, and that took me out. Like the actor, okay, that took me out.
So from the beginning, essentially, for you,
that felt
there
weird.
was things. I mean,
not just that. The first scene after the crawl, right? It pans down this time, right? I'm always looking for if it pans up or down. It pans down, and all of a sudden we're in action. We're moving. We're flying past the ships. And then it just cuts. And we're on the planet. It's like, wait a minute. We didn't even break through the surface. It's just stop. Like, it's almost like the editor was like, okay, we've had enough of the scene. Let's just jump right onto the planet. It could have done something a little bit different. That was a little jarring from the get-go. So there's already 2.
I was saying the Snoke Rey scene because I was trying to be a little not so mean about it, but Leo's right. Right from the jokes, the placing them on hold and all that stuff, that threw me off right away. But I didn't mind it. I was still in the game, dude. I was still like, okay.
Sure.
It was so weird because when I was watching this movie, I mean, first of all, when the opening credits, the opening crawl showed up, I'm clapping.
Dude,
I'm in
it's great. That crawl is one of the best crawls I've read.
And everyone else was clapping. Everyone was pumped. And you know what? By the end of the movie, I felt like I was the only one that was kind of like confused by this whole thing. Everyone else enjoyed themselves. It was just me, or maybe it's just in my head that it was just me. But so that happened. I'm still watching it. The first 20 minutes, the action scene finally happened. Yeah. And I'm still in my fandom. I'm still saying, okay, that didn't hit me. Well, okay. That's okay. But it's okay. We'll it's going to get better. It's going to get whatever. It's just the beginning of the movie. Right. And the thing that set it off for me was, I think when I realized that we were in trouble or that they were going to maintain this chaos here was the interactions with Finn and Rose when they first met. I felt that was weird because here we have Rose, the actress that plays Rose did a great job. She has a disagreement with Finn because Finn wants to escape, right? He wants to desert the fucking. He's a deserter, right?
Which technically he's not. He wants to go find. Rey.
Okay.
And that's the only way you can get off the ship.
Sure.
Is sort of be a deserter.
And so he gets tased, he falls, and like within 3 minutes, they're on the same team. Like it was kind of like, dude, you just tased the shit out of me. You were about to like throw me in jail, and all of a sudden, because I tell you that they are tracking us through light speed, you're on my side now.
Well, I mean, she is her and her sister Paige were big fans of Finn.
Sure.
Finn is... I mean, it's kind of cool that they touch on this. The fact that, hey, there was a deserter amongst the First Order ranks. And he actually sort of kind of caused a chain of events that has put the First Order where they are now. Right? Because he rescued Poe. Had Poe not have made it out of that ship, I think he would have been killed. In The Force Awakens. I mean, I'm getting into my fandom here.
Let me ask you this. Anyway. Let's say you're Rose, right?
Okay.
You catch a deserter. You put him down.
Sure.
Right? You're about to bring him in. Why the fuck would you believe anything that guy's going to say?
Because it's Finn.
Yeah, but he's a deserter. She's already...
To a degree.
Rose already made up her mind.
I know.
Like, we know what he was planning on doing.
We know his plans, right.
But not Rose. I mean, not at that moment. Right? And all of a sudden, it was like, not only did she believe Finn, she teamed up with him and then conspired against the captain within 3 minutes.
See, my problem in this section right here, and it's kind of a thick, figgy pudding thing here. Holdo, okay, which Laura Dern was a good... I liked her character, okay? She was a little, like... She seemed a little dry?
Sure.
Like, when she delivered the line of, like, we are the spark that will ignite the fire that will burn the First Order down, it sounded a little cheesy.
It didn't get the troops riled up either, by the way. Like, everyone kind of...
But whenever I hear Poe deliver that line, it's like, we are the spark that will burn the First Order down, that will ignite the fire. It's like, it has that passion in it. It's like, we are that spark.
I have my own issues with her because I'm thinking, okay, there's not many crew around, right, that you're trying to save and protect.
Sure.
I get it that Poe just got demoted at the last minute, but why wouldn't you tell the captain what you're planning on doing?
Okay.
Right?
I agree with that. But remember, he was demoted. Leia's knocked out. Okay, so it's not like, hey, can I trust this guy? She's never met Poe before. She doesn't know the relationship of Poe and Leia, right? The fact that he's actually been really helping her out and actually changing stuff. Okay, because I mean, he got the map to Luke. That's a big deal, right? If he hadn't gotten the map to Luke, then we wouldn't be in this movie, in this position, right? So, but at the same time, I feel like Holdo is a superior. She had a superior ranking, obviously.
Oh, sure, yeah. She's like Leia's position.
Okay, right.
She's the substitute teacher.
Right, for another fleet. Okay. So the thing is that, and this is where I sort of like, I thought, is she a double agent?
Well, that's what I felt.
Because of the way it was being treated, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I know Poe. I trust Poe, right?
Why don't you, the audience, trust Poe?
Why don't you trust Poe? What's going on with you?
Who
are, you know?
It's like,
she's
hey,
being shady.
Why don't you stop asking questions and get back to your posts?
Right.
And it's like, what? Like, dude, something's up. Something's up here. Right. This is a double agent. Killer.
Kill the motherfucker.
Killer.
Yeah. Look, see, and that's where, for the rest of the movie, I didn't like Holdo. Because I was like, oh no, she's a double agent. I'm waiting for that twist. Mm-hmm. Which, there was sort of a twist with her that came after. And I liked it, but it wasn't what I expected.
Well, the thing is here, I'm so glad you touched up on this.
They cut me off guard.
I'm so glad you touched up on this because ultimately, that's why I don't like the movie. I feel like the movie is a whole bunch of gatyas that didn't deliver on what I was expecting, right?
Can see that.
First, you have, we're going to touch on everything, but the captain, what's her, how do you pronounce her name?
Holdo?
Holdo.
Yeah.
Holdo.
It's Holdo, I believe. Holdo.
She was the first gotcha. Me, okay? Now, I'm going to go through all the other gotchas.
Yeah.
But when I realized that was a gotcha, it left a bad taste in my mouth, bro. I'm like, okay, I'll accept it. I think this is so cool. And she did have a really cool scene at the end regarding a ship that we'll get to when the time comes. Mm-hmm. But, okay, so that's that out of the way. What do you think of the plan that they had?
I had a problem with that. But now that I've heard multiple people involved in the movie explain that part of the movie, it's fine. But the thing is, I had a problem with the fact it's supposed to be like Bespin, right? Where it's like, oh, they're going on a little detour, right? A little small planet. Things are gonna go bad on there. It's not gonna be what you expect. I was like, how? Wait a minute, hold on. I get it. Hux himself says we're a huge ass ship. How come we can't chase these guys down and just blast them out of the sky? And he was like, well, they're smaller, they're faster. Okay. The thing is, they have time to get off the ship, go into hyperspace, and come back. That really didn't set well with me. It's still to this on my fourth viewing. I'm just like, eugh.
Yeah, well, well, here's the thing regarding the plan and the whole thing.
It's not. They could have had a different plan, dude.
Oh, for sure,
They could have had a different plan.
But
like,
here's how I view the whole situation. Right, Finn and Rose go off into their own little side mission,
adventure. Yeah.
First of all, the thing that bothered me about that was the whole Maz Kanata.
That was terrible.
Okay. Hey, first of all, they're not even close friends for that matter. You know, just
I can bypass that. Like, look.
I forgot. I accepted it.
And, okay, now I'm thinking about this right now. There is not that much time between the movies. Okay.
No.
So it's not like they had time to like celebrate the victory after Starkiller Base and be like, yo, let's go talk to Maz. Right?
We didn't even know if she survived from.
I didn't even know either. I thought she died.
For Force Awakens,
right. I thought
the
she died.
whole fucking thing collapsed.
They didn't even address it. Like,
nothing.
Hey, Maz is safe or anything.
But I accepted it. Okay, fine. So they have her on speed dial. Fuck it.
Yeah, sure.
Take me there.
Right.
But it felt like at that point in time, a holograph comes up and they're having a conversation. Mm-hmm. Hey, we need this. We need to get into this ship. You need a master code breaker. You know,
and she's blasting, right? She's blasting when she's talking. She's like, "You need a code breaker.
But
he will help you get into that ship."
But the thing is, it felt like a video game, bro.
It really did, dude.
Like you just reached the checkpoint.
I know.
And you're talking to the captain. Okay, now go here and then collect this, and then you'll be back in time for this. And it's like, dude, it felt like a fucking video game.
It really did.
And at this point, I'm like, okay, they're gonna continue this fucking trend, bro.
I know.
This is where I'm getting worried.
Right.
Okay, I'm still in it. I'm still in it.
I'm still buying it.
But
right?
you know, like at this point, like my fandom is like, okay, no, it's gonna get better, bro. Come on, they haven't even answered the questions yet. You know what I mean? So here's the thing: a side little step. So they go to their own mission. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing that made me mad.
Oh, okay.
So you have the First Order.
Mm-hmm.
They have the ships on the ropes. Okay, like they could easily. I mean, they're outnumbered.
Look, man, they could have just sent their entire TIE fighter squadron.
Oh, for sure, it's one ship.
Just
bro.
shoot the big ship down first, and then we'll take care of the other ones.
Yeah,
send in the destroyers.
I mean, you have Snoke's big ass fucking Cadillac.
The
ship.
supremacy, yeah.
I mean, and not one. I mean, come on. Okay, so here's their plan. I'm Hux, okay? What's the plan? Let's wait till they run out of gas. And I'm just like, no fucking way they're doing that.
That's not how they would have done it in the past.
Hell, bro, I mean, let's wait till they run out of gas.
The Death Star wasn't like, oh, let's wait till, it was like, let's go find their base and blow those guys up. In the Force Awakens, they blew up the planets that made up the Resistance. So that's okay. And that big dreadnought had those 2 cannons, right?
Oh sure.
You mean the Supremacy doesn't have weaponry like that can blow a ship or anything out of space? Like, come on.
It's just the whole
that's hard to believe.
Situation, the whole plan,
right?
And the plan on both ends were ridiculous.
It really was.
Okay, let's go side mission to this other planet that we're about to get into right now, and then on the other side, let's wait till they run out of gas.
Look, it's almost like they smoked something and we're like, how convoluted can we make this plan? Because we have all the time in the world to do this.
I almost felt like they put that side story in just so Finn has some shit to do.
Yeah,
that's
Finn,
what it felt like, bro.
Yeah, it kept Finn in the game for sure. Because if they hadn't gone to Canto Bight, Finn would have been looking for Rey.
Yeah,
he would have escaped and just like, where's Rey?
And that's the first line he says, Rey.
Yeah,
like he's still in the fucking Force Awakens and shit. He's still there, bro.
He really is.
He didn't even know the movie ended, bro. He just woke up. He's like, shit.
He didn't even know Hux didn't know how to tell jokes, bro.
So let's get to fucking Canto Bight.
Okay.
Finn, Rose, they go to the side mission. Okay. According to Maz Kanata, they have to search for a guy with a red fucking flower on his lapel. A gambler. A high stakes gambler. Yeah. Right? And I'm just like, okay, how the fuck would she know? Like, does he never change the pin? Or what's up? Like,
my guess is it's his symbol that he's part of the Resistance.
I didn't mind it.
That's all.
I'm just throwing my inner model of dialogue here, right?
Well, and the weirder thing is, in that video, he's got a lapel right here, or a flower, and the flower comes up and like detailed, look for this, it's definitely like a video game.
It's like,
and not just that. Okay, there's also a scene along the same lines. There's a scene where Finn is explaining the schematics of the Supremacy to Rose. And he's like, oh, there's this thing here. You got to go find that. It's like, how did that schematic show up? I mean, in The New Hope, we know who had to sacrifice their life to get the schematics to blow up the Death Star. So it's kind of like, it almost feels like Justice League where they're sort of skipping stuff now.
Oh, for sure.
Just to like, we have 2.5 hours. They're going to forget about it because it's a long-ass movie, They sort of shaved that off and like threw it under the rug. I carried it with me, like all these little things, like you're saying.
So they get there, and they find the dude. I don't even know his name.
He's just the code breaker.
He's just a whatever code breaker. Yeah, that's just his name. Fuck it. They find the code breaker. Coincidentally, the second they find him, they get arrested because they fucking parked illegally on the beach. Sure. Right? Okay.
That's terrible too. Hey, those are the guys right there. I found him. By the way, that alien was voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Really?
Yeah, I just found out.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
I want to rewatch it.
Interesting little tidbit.
Yeah.
So they go into jail, right? Where they find not the code breaker,
But
a code breaker.
stutters.
Coincidentally.
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro, dude, look. Benicio del Toro, dude, you're the man, bro.
He is the man.
You are like one of the great, I think one of the best actors working today, okay?
Shout out to Soldado.
But dude, I had trouble. I understand that there's coincidence, right? But that was convenient. It was
almost
too
felt like
coincidental.
That's the code breaker. And they
were
set
felt
up.
that too. Yeah.
I really convinced myself, oh no, that guy was nobody. They were supposed to go to jail.
That's the fandom talking, bro.
I know.
Because I was saying the same thing. I was saying, nah, they couldn't have fucked this up. Nah. He's the real code breaker up in here. He was just waiting in jail the entire time.
He was making memes, dude.
He knew exactly what cell they were gonna put him in. You know, like
that was weird. So it's just, you have to accept that. You just have to.
See, that's the thing is I still don't, and that's why my score is low. Now, he breaks the code, the gates.
Breaks out,
He breaks out. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, Leo, if you had the skill to break out of your cell at any goddamn time, why are you in jail?
I think it's like free food and lodging type of a deal. I don't know. You know.
He's a code breaker. He's probably a hack. He probably gets money from ATMs and shit. You know.
Bear with me. It's like, look. It's like those movies where there's the guy who like he knows how to get by cheating the system. Yeah, cheating the system. Right. He's the guy that puts in the quarter with the string in the parking meter and is like, I saved a quarter. Yeah. Every time. He's that guy. That's how I saw him.
Okay.
Like, he got jailed on purpose because he wanted to sleep. He doesn't have a place to sleep. He just goes and steals shit. He needed to stay low for a while. A jail cell, who's going to look for you in jail? That's just my guess.
Apparently Finn and Rose.
Yeah,
okay?
that's true.
So they find the dude, okay? Let me tell you something interesting about this planet. They run across these horses. I'm just going to call them space horses, okay? Because that's exactly what they are. They're at the track and shit.
Sure.
And here is where there were little things in this movie that kind of made me kind of like, huh? Like, oh, that's kind of weak sauce. But the minute something took me out of the movie was this scene here. Oh. And that was because I saw the political message that Rian Johnson himself was trying to send. And that took me out of the movie, and I think I never recovered from that. From that point on, no.
And then also, the whole thing with the porgs and Chewbacca, he was eating, and then the porgs are watching him. It's like, I've never eaten dinner in the wild, and the animal I'm eating is watching me eat him.
Like the chicken, like if you were eating a chicken, and there was another chicken.
Another chicken's gonna go cluck, 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 cluck.
Like there's
no way that's gonna happen. Like the porg's gonna watch him eat. Like, come on.
If anything, I'm hungry. I still eat the shit. Like whatever. But the thing that made me so upset is Rose said a line once they freed all the horses. Rose said this line, and it's like takes the saddle off the horse, and was like, "Now it's worth it." This whole thing has been worth it.
Basically, their plan failed, and so, hey, let's cause chaos somewhere and make it feel like we made a change.
But here's the thing. Like, they were perfectly happy. Rose and Finn were perfectly happy freeing horses and being okay and just bouncing. But not the little kids that are enslaved. Yeah. And that, to me, was when the message fell apart.
You're right. I never thought about that because they actually, they're looking at the kids getting beat up, right?
Sure.
It's like, why don't you go down there and stop them?
No, it's all about the horses, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
It's humanitarian...
Whatever's.
Animal rights.
But, okay, so they escape. That's why this whole fucking Canto Bite shit failed.
And it just feels like that. Like, you know what? Forget it. Let's just get off of this planet. I don't even care about the plot.
Yeah, we wasted 10 minutes on this scene.
I'm going to fall asleep every time I watch it from here on out.
I'll just fast forward it from there. Until they get out. And here's the funny thing about fucking Benicio del Toro's character, the Codebreaker. I don't know if I should go into this yet because he ultimately betrays, which renders their mission useless from the beginning.
Okay, he betrays. He betrays.
Right.
Them, yeah.
He betrays them at the end without. They didn't accomplish what they went out to accomplish at all.
Okay, see, here's where I sort of start turning on the movie, and I'm like, okay, I actually really like this about the movie, okay? Thematically, in this movie, there's this theme of, like, balance, right? It's mentioned so many times in different ways, but it's exemplified the most with Rey and Kylo, right? Even Snoke says, light rises to meet the dark, or dark rises to meet the light, right?
Sure.
Okay.
It reminded me of fucking Neo and Mr. Smith.
Sure. So, essentially, DJ did the light thing by getting him on the ship, but he balanced it out by sort of turning him in.
That's some fucked up shit. That's the Phantom talking, okay? That's some weak storytelling right there.
I don't know, though, because the thing is, it happens to Luke. I mean, even Luke is like... We'll get to Luke.
Luke is the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm jumping around.
So Benicio del Toro.
I forgive DJ for essentially being a throwaway character.
DJ?
Yeah, that's his name.
The Benicio del Toro? Really?
Yeah, DJ. Yeah.
I must have missed that. I've watched it twice. I must have missed that.
I don't think they even say his name.
Interesting.
I mean, anyway.
Whatever. So that happened, right? Now, at this point, I already said it's taken me out and it brought me back in. Mm-hmm. Now, let's move on to Snoke, bro. Okay. This is when all hell broke loose in my mind. Okay? I'm jumping up and down saying, who the fuck is watching this? Okay? Mm-hmm. From The Force Awakens, Snoke is presented as the big baddie. Mm-hmm. Okay? He's the big, powerful motherfucker. Sure. He's like the Luke Skywalker for the dark side, whatever. Right. That's how I'm taking it, right?
Essentially he is, because when Luke rose, he rose on the other side and trained and took Kylo Ren.
Sure.
So he is the balance.
Right? Now, I was talking to Leo about this, and this is you could see, when I first started talking to Leo, you could see how physically angry I was about this, okay? I just couldn't believe it, okay? I'm sitting into this movie. One of the things that I really wanted to know is, who the hell is Snoke?
Sure.
Is he Darth Plagueis? Plagueis? Is he a nobody? First of all,
is he Mace Windu?
Yeah. Where did he? Yeah. Is he Mace?
Even though he has Mace Windu?
Right? Yeah. Where did he come from? What's his motive?
Sure.
How did he come into power?
Is he a Sith Lord?
Those are just. No. I don't need to know so much. I just need to know basic knowledge. Mm-hmm. They didn't give me jack shit here. They killed his ass off, bro. 3 minutes of only screen time, they killed him off.
And what sucks is he showed moments where he was like, where you literally... I saw him and I was like, oh shit, he's strong.
He's really strong.
Like, Kylo gets pissed and he's about to like... He throws off his cowl and he's gonna ignite his saber, but... Supreme Leader just immediately bounces
lightning.
Not even throws at him. He bounces it off the ground and hits him. He's like...
Nothing but net.
He doesn't raise his hand even. He just raises his fingers and takes him out that way.
Yeah, Snoke is so powerful that he literally, like, pimp slaps Rey with her own lightsaber behind the head. Like,
by the way, he should have fired those Praetorian Guard after that moment. Because after he's on the ground, like, oh my god... Then they like, oh, are you gonna do something? Like, come on, like.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know, they probably thought Snoke got this. He's so powerful. He beats the shit out of.
Then they should have just stood at attention, man.
Well, the thing is,
I'm nitpicking here. But...
Well, let's just emphasize how powerful Snoke is from what we saw. Okay, he was able to manhandle or
Hux,
just
at first
Hux
from the beginning. Yeah,
his hologram, bro.
He smashed. He dropped him on his face.
Yeah, spun him around.
Yeah,
and it's like, how disappointed I am. Whatever the fuck. Then he bounces lightning off the floor and hits Kylo Ren, puts him in his place. Yeah. Okay, then he freezes Rey, brings her to him, flips her around, puts her in the air, absorbs all the knowledge she had in her mind.
He did take the knowledge out, yeah.
Okay? Now he knows where the fuck Luke is,
Right.
okay? Which, I'm going to get to this in a minute. And he's able to sense thoughts.
Yeah.
Even as Kylo Ren is, like, bringing out his lightsaber. He's saying, strike Rey down, and then that will complete your fucking thing.
Force-linked them.
Yeah, he force-links them across galaxies.
Which, that's another... We gotta touch on that. That's another thing.
Yes.
But he
We'll get to that.
Sure.
So, as Kylo Ren...
He takes Kylo Ren's lightsaber out of her hand, too.
Oh, yeah.
And throws it right back to Kylo.
Easy, bro. Easy.
Right.
Not even sweating, bro.
No. He's not even moving. He's just doing it mentally.
And it's just like, okay, as he's saying, he's reading Kylo, he's instructing Kylo Ren to strike Rey down, and he's saying Kylo Ren's inner thoughts out loud, right? Little did he know, Kylo Ren was disguising his actual intentions with his actual physical actions. They were matching exactly. Turn his lightsaber around. He's grabbing his own lightsaber. At the same time, he's turning the other lightsaber that is right next to Snoke. So I thought that was clever as far as how they did that. But at the end of the day, he still fucking died.
True.
And without doing anything halfway through the movie. Okay? Halfway through the movie, the big bad guy is done.
The thing about Snoke, though, is that I really wanted to see Kylo Ren surpass him.
Yes.
I really did. I didn't want it to be like this, but at the same time, I accept that Kylo Ren outsmarted him. I mean, Palpatine outsmarted... Well, we don't know if Darth Plagueis is dead. Because supposedly he's still around. Might be. But Palpatine tricked him and killed him in his sleep. So it's this thing of like the pupil in the Sith ways always surpasses and kills his master.
But in this case, I took issue with it because we know for a fact Kylo Ren is not stronger than Snoke. Okay,
he's not.
He might be more clever.
I think that's
more sneaky.
That's the point. Is like Snoke is so powerful that you have to outwit him. And the only way you can outwit him is simultaneously while he's like calling out your shots, right? It's like fighting Mirror Link, right? The way I used to fight him was I used to turn around, give my back to him, I would charge my swing, and then I would swing backwards because he would turn around too and swing backwards, so he didn't counter that. So essentially, he countered Snoke by mimicking what he was doing, and he was using that thought to let Snoke see what he was doing, like, oh, I'm gonna strike Rey. But no, he ignited the lightsaber, pulls it to himself, and then pulls it to Rey.
Now, here is the second I gotcha.
Okay?
Because I thought they were gonna give me answers to Snoke. Nope. I gotcha again.
True.
Okay? But before that was actually the third I gotcha. I skipped over the second I gotcha. The second I gotcha is Rey and Kylo going up to meet Snoke. They're having a conversation in the elevator. And they're saying, Rey is saying, I've seen your future. You will turn. And in turn, Kylo is saying,
no, you're going to turn.
You're going to turn too, right? I gotcha. That doesn't happen. That is
a gotcha because in the trailers, right, I saw the last TV little cuts. I saw Rey get Kylo's lightsaber and I thought, oh no. They showed too much,
Yeah.
They should have. I mean, I should have never seen that because I think had I not seen that scene, I wouldn't have expected it, and it would have been a real twist, like, oh, she's gonna kill Kylo or something, or she's gonna join the Praetorian Guard or something, and then, but no, it was just, oh, come here, kid, give me that, give it back to Kylo.
Speaking of Kylo Ren, when The Force Awakens, here's another I gotcha. Okay, when The Force Awakens happened, and we watched it. I saw some cool fucking team by the name of the Knights of Ren.
Oh, yeah.
Where are
That's
they?
The dream team. They have to come into play next movie. They have to.
Why?
My guess is he's going to... This is my guess, okay? So...
They might be those fucking guards that Snoke had.
No.
Dude,
There
they
were
had
8 of them.
similar
There were 8
weapons,
of
bro.
them. I know, but I think they're more akin to the Royal Guard, the red guys from Return of the Jedi.
All I'm saying is they didn't give a shit on that either. They didn't show us anything there. We don't know if they're dead, if they were the Red Guards. Look, or
my
whatnot.
guess is because he was tricked so badly, he's going to do what Hux didn't do, right? And that's send everything all at once at their fleets, whatever they have, and he's going to use the Knights of Ren to hunt down Rey and Poe or whoever.
I ain't buying it. I don't think that's going to happen at all. But here's another I gotcha, okay? At the end of The Force Awakens, the end scene, everyone, I think, what they took away from, and one of the things that was exciting people about The Last Jedi was the last scene of The Force Awakens. Here comes Rey, Luke's original lightsaber, which was his father's lightsaber, Anakin's lightsaber, presents it to him. Look at fucking Luke Skywalker's face, okay? He's all teary-eyed. He's all emotional. What is going on here? This must be some significance to something.
Well, the significance is that was his dad's lightsaber. His dad cut his hand off. He lost it. He hadn't seen it since then.
He didn't cut his... no, that was actually his lightsaber. That was Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber.
Right, that's the lightsaber he was holding on Bespin.
Yes.
Right, so he hasn't seen it since then. The last time he seen it, his hand was holding it.
Yeah.
He said bye to both of them.
But here's the thing. Based off of Luke's face, I'm thinking, dude, something is like...
Internally, sure.
Something is major going to, like, conversation-wise. Something is gonna, like... He's gonna say something important or something, right? No. He just grabs it, says, huh? And chucks it behind his back.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh no.
It was weird. The first time I was like, oh. It really didn't sit well. But now watching the movie a couple times and knowing the fact that Luke just doesn't believe in the Force anymore. And not necessarily... Okay, let me take that back. He isn't in tune with the Force anymore because of what he's learned.
Well, here's the thing that I feel one of the biggest gripes that Star Wars fans have is that they aren't seeing the Luke they know, right? Luke is a completely different person here.
Well, I mean,
he's a broken guy. He's been through a lot, right? But Luke isn't the type that would give up. Keep this in mind. He
gave up on the X-Wing on Dagobah the first time. You want the impossible.
No, I mean after he was a Jedi. Like it was one of those things where it's like not like like he just gave up. He gave up on that. Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying, like he is so no matter how evil someone is, he always sees the light side in him. A case in point, his father.
Okay.
His father's killed millions of people by this
Hitler.
time.
He's Hitler in this
He's the Hitler of fucking
genocide.
Star Wars.
He's been killing the rebels. Yeah.
Actually, the Palpatine's Hitler.
Sure.
He's just Vader's more like Stalin. Stalin killed more than Hitler.
He's more like Joseph Goebbels.
Whatevers. He literally was able to see his father and be like, I could still turn him. He's still redeemable, but for some oddball reason, he didn't see that in Ben Solo.
Okay.
And Ben Solo hadn't even crossed to the dark side. I mean, he wasn't Kylo Ren at this point. He hadn't made his decision there.
I haven't read any of the newer canon books, but I would love to read a book where Ben Solo turns. Or where he first meets Snoke. I'm curious about that. Because what they ultimately say about that is Rey explains to Luke that, look, you made a mistake there. Okay? He had been seduced by Snoke, but he wasn't fully made up there. He needed that persuasion to be like, look, what you're seeing is wrong. It's a facade. It's only going to lead you down to destruction and suffering and hurt. So, which it really did. I mean, it
did.
He said it's split. He's being split in half. I'm being torn apart, right? So he told that to Han. So, you saw that when he was about to shoot Leia on the bridge, which was...
Go ahead.
It was... I want to talk about Kylo. So, but I think that Luke ultimately... See, that's the thing. Like, how... When Snoke turned him, what did... Like...
First of all, how did he turn him?
Yeah, how did he turn him?
He was training with Luke.
Yeah, how did he have access to him?
That's how powerful fucking apparently Snoke is. He's able to turn people from fucking across the galaxy apparently with mind bullets, bro.
And that's just it. Like, I want to know about that. I want to know about that part of the story because it's important to me to know where Luke lost control, or at least where Luke lost his attention.
Or at least where Luke started seeing signs of like, holy shit, okay, Ben,
sure, because,
with Ben.
I mean, ultimately,
I'm losing control of him.
I'm sure they found out when he was, as soon as he was born, like, okay, he's gonna be force sensitive.
Of course.
Duh. He's Vader's grandson, right? Yeah. He's Leia and Luke's, Leia's kid and Luke's nephew. So it's almost like the bloodline. They expected a lot of him when he was born, I'm guessing, right? Han expected a lot of him. Leia did. So it's almost like they fucked with his mind, like, because we'll get
that would have been a great story, bro, of how Snoke recruited, how the downfall of Kylo Ren.
I want to know that really bad,
right? That would have been an incredible trilogy, bro. An incredible trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay. And you could have still had Luke and Leia in that trilogy, and Han Solo.
Yeah.
The whole
because
nine.
Ultimately, what split apart the family was the fact that they lost Ben.
Oh, for sure,
right?
bro.
Han and Leia, like, he went off on his adventures to escape the pain. Leia stayed committed to her mission, and Luke was just like, fuck this. I'm running away, period. I'm going to go hiding on a place where no one can find me. And he literally said, I'm waiting to die on this island. I'm just waiting to die.
Speaking of this island, we could talk Kylo Ren for quite a bit. This island, Luke Skywalker and Rey. What'd you think of that whole dynamic? Did that work for you?
Look, it did, because I feel like he was the opposite of what Yoda was to him. Yoda was like this kind of like, goofy guy, right?
Sure.
Yeah. You looking for a Jedi Master? You are in the wrong places. Whatever.
He's hugging his back as he's running through the forest.
Right. He's taking his
like,
food and shit. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is my rations. Like, oh, no. He's acting kind of crazy, and then he's like, oh, you're looking for a Jedi. His ears pop up like, oh.
I can't do
it. So, Luke, instead of being all crazy, was just like grumpy, bitter. I mean, look, think about it this way. Yoda lost on that last fight to Palpatine. He lost.
All right, yeah.
Because he ran away. That's how I see it. He ran away. I don't know if Palpatine was actually stronger, but he beat him in that fight.
When it comes to Luke and in this damn thing, there were so many things I didn't want to see. First of all, Luke's a shitty ass teacher in this movie. Okay.
I don't know, dude. I think
I'll tell you why he's a shitty ass teacher.
Okay, let's get into Luke. Let's talk about Luke.
So
his changes.
So the first thing that threw me off about this whole Luke thing. Now keep in mind, I actually wanted to go to the movie because of Luke himself and Snoke.
I want to know about Luke and Kylo, but okay.
Yeah. And I wanted to also know how they were going to deal with Leia, to be honest with you. Those were the three things. But let's talk Luke here. First, he throws the fucking lightsaber behind his back.
That was weird. Sure.
I immediately was like, holy shit, what's going on here? Then he's saying stuff like, the Jedi have to die. I'm like, what? Like, you fucking up, son. Like, you fucking with like, a lot of fans' childhood right here. Like, Luke himself is saying the Jedi must die.
He had my attention at that point.
That the Jedi are no good, that they were responsible for blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, he's sucking fucking titty cow milk and shit. It's like, I'm like, dude, I don't want to see Luke squeeze nipples and shit and drink fucking space cow milk.
That was out of place. It seemed like just a joke, so they could have like, oh, look at our puppet and look at our nipples.
Dude, he straight up sucked some juice, bro. Like some green
juice, dog.
And I'm just like, oh man, like this is fucked
That was
up.
out of place. But anyway,
so Now Rey goes to Luke because she wants to be trained in the Force.
Sure.
Now I thought, okay, this is going to be pretty cool to see, right? Luke's training the future Jedi warrior here. He says, "I'll give you 3 lessons." Lesson 1.
Wait. But he says this. He says, "I will teach you the ways of the Force
And why it's not needed.
and why it needs to die. Like I'll teach you how to be a Jedi, but I'm going to teach you why it has to die as well."
Okay. So lesson 1. Close your eyes and reach out.
I'm going to be a creeper for a second.
Okay.
Get out with the feather tickler and shit.
Now I did find this funny, by the way, when I saw this. He's touching Rey with the fucking leaf, and he's like,
Kinky
"Oh, I feel
Luke.
it. I feel it. Oh, you feel it. You feel it." And then he smacks her with it. It's like, "Shut your fucking like." I was like, I found
feelings.
that. Yeah,
I thought that was funny too.
I found that funny, you know.
Yeah.
But that was lesson number 1.
Sure.
What the Force is, right? He tells her what the Force is. Lesson number 2.
But that was a big lesson, actually, man. You want to know
Knowing the Force
No.
and knowing
Because
how to
he
use the Force is 2 different
Because
things.
he explains right then and there that the Jedi of old, which includes Anakin, okay, they had it wrong. They thought that it was a means of controlling the galaxy, of essentially policing the galaxy. But he said, essentially, no. It's just a Force that is out there, and you can tap into it. And when you tap into it, you have the choice to go light or dark.
Speaking of, she goes straight fucking dark. Bounces back.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Not being trained in the Force at this point, by the way. And she's okay. I'm just thinking, okay, all right, I'll let me just keep going with this. Let me see where you're going to go with it.
I didn't mind that. I thought that was interesting because it showed the new theme of the Force, which is there's a little bit of dark in you, and there's also some light. You can just choose to tap into whichever one you want.
Luke has tapped into the dark side when he fought Vader in the Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, when he was striking.
Yeah. So it's not like
dark
he's
side,
not like new to it himself. He's touched upon it. But the thing is Luke was already trained at that point. Okay, Rey is not. Okay, so lesson number 2 pretty much gives her the reasons why the Jedi must end, because he feels that they were responsible for the rise of the Empire. Blah blah blah.
Sure.
So that was lesson number 2, pretty much a history lesson. What was lesson number 3?
I think that's coming in the 3rd movie.
He's dead, motherfucker. He's dead.
He's gonna come back like Yoda.
No, bro.
He's gonna come back like Yoda.
No, hey, look what the fandom is doing to people.
Okay, look
what the fandom is doing to people.
Here's the problem. Okay, they left it in such a way where it's like, if the next movie, whatever happens, I'm seriously gonna be like, oh, they did that because of the outcry.
I ain't. You're gonna be like, you fucked this up. Okay. Now, lesson number 3. Guess what? Guess what, guys? There was no lesson number 3. They fucked that up.
It's coming. I think it's coming.
Why would it be coming? Why would they give 2 lessons here and the 3rd one 2 years later?
I don't know, man.
And keep in mind, look at the quality of the first 2 lessons. One, the Force is this, and history of the Jedi is this.
Okay. I don't want to have to go back to old movies too much, but what did Yoda teach Luke? What did he learn? It was a lot more physical. His training.
It was a lot more physical. Mm-hmm. He showed him how to overcome doubt with failing to lift a fucking X-wing.
I don't think Rey had doubt. I don't think Rey had doubt. That's the thing. That's the difference between Luke and Rey.
Rey had something worse. She had fear.
She had fear. Right.
Right?
Right.
But the thing is,
she had fear of being alone.
I'm going to finish off the Luke shit.
Sure.
By jumping towards the very end. Now, I'm excited at this point. Towards the end, the last battle, the Resistance is
they're losing.
They're losing.
Leia essentially says they lost.
Die.
Leia essentially says hope is lost.
I mean, they just open up the door to the fucking shelter or the fucking base, right? At the end of the planet.
Right, they're about to come in.
Right? Luke shows up, and at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm a little re-engaged here. Like, okay, they could easily make this not shit if they finish strong. Please finish strong. Luke comes in. and has a pretty good conversation with Leia.
Pretty deep, yeah.
Right? I mean, they're talking about Ben Solo, and they're saying, "Look, I forgive you." Leia's pretty much saying, "It's not your fault. I forgive you. Don't blame yourself." Essentially, Luke is accepting finally that it's not his fault.
Right.
And then we have Luke's side telling Leia, "I pretty much have to kill your son."
He really did.
He really did say that. It's like, "Hey, I cannot save him. I'm here to put him down.
Right, basically.
I'm here to take him out."
Which was really powerful.
Yeah, and I'm just
that
like,
moment
wow.
was pretty heavy.
Yeah, and I was
Because
like,
I never thought I would hear him say that.
"Oh yeah," but you know what? At this point, he has no choice.
Right, there is no
Right?
choice. Yeah, sure.
He's gone. He's fucking gone.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, okay, all right. They're redeeming this here. This is gonna be great. Okay, cool. Luke walks outside, and I'm just thinking, okay, I'm finally gonna see how powerful fucking Luke Skywalker is. Dude, this has been 30 years since the Return of the Jedi. He's probably grown exponentially.
Right.
So he gets hit with a whole bunch of blasts. Boom, 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 boom. By,
The assault walkers.
yes. And all of a sudden, he walks out from the fucking dust and the shadows, and he just does this. And I'm thinking, oh, bro, he's powerful.
I like
Fuck.
that. I really did like that.
He's
part.
holy shit. No one's gonna stop this guy. And
It really did feel like that.
this is what I was feeling at the time.
Me too.
was
I think everyone is, though.
Shit, Luke Scott, fuck. And then all of a sudden, Kylo's like, "Take me down to him," and I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna have a fight, bro. Like this is what I'm waiting for. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, Luke has this.
This is Vader and Obi-Wan.
This is like, it's like, Luke is way more powerful than Kylo. Sure. He has to be. Like, well, at least that's what I'm telling myself.
Not physically more able than him, but sure.
He's more powerful in the Force.
But he proved us wrong with some of those moves. Even though they were holograms.
Okay. Well, that's the thing, Leo.
I mean, okay, I'm spoiling it.
First of all...
It's already spoiled.
First of all,
sure.
Yeah. He doesn't swing a fucking... He doesn't swing once, bro.
I know. That bothered me too.
Not fucking once, bro.
Yeah.
Okay? So he has some pretty cool fucking Matrix dodges and shit. You know, like 2 of them. And then all of a sudden, Kylo just swipes at his ass, goes right through him, and at that point, I'm like, in my mind, because I don't want to get jumped in the theater with a whole bunch of fucking Star Wars fans, in my mind, I'm saying, they motherfucking got me again. I'm like, that's the 6th I got you. Oh, fuck.
I felt sort of the same, but I did have those feelings though, like, oh no.
Right?
He's not going to fight.
He's not going to fight.
He's not going to raise it. He's not going to strike him. Like, he was making this whole big deal about it.
Exactly.
He really
Which didn't make sense. Right. He was telling Leia, I'm here to stop this motherfucker. He didn't stop shit. If anything, he just stalled like 3 minutes. Really, if you think about it, Leo.
I'll get to what I think that was about, but let's continue. There's more.
So then it cuts away. He's like, it cuts away, and you now know that fucking Luke is doing some astral projection of himself.
That blew my mind.
Well, first of all, hold on a second.
That blew my mind.
Dude, look. I don't know if you know me, guys, but I'm the type of guy that will watch Fast and the Furious and say, yes, that can happen.
Yeah, sure. Dom can drive a car on fire in Cuba.
Yeah. He won't get burned.
He won the race.
Not even a scratch on him.
Yeah,
not even a shirt's burned. No, that could happen.
He can catch you and land on a car after you fly off the tank. He'll catch you, don't worry.
Yeah, not even breaking his back. Boom, goes through a windshield.
No bruises, nothing.
No bruises, nothing. Not even a sweat, bro. Not even a little drop of sweat, nothing.
It's those
that can happen.
Dog.
That's me, okay? So my suspicion of disbelief is pretty fucking high.
You're holding it up there, sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
But when Luke motherfucking Skywalker is astral projecting himself across the galaxy and is able to react to what Kylo Ren's doing in real time and dodging, no. No, dude, I'm not buying it, bro. It must take some time to have the signal go back and forth between his mind and the fucking planet across the galaxy.
I don't know.
You telling me that he's astral projecting faster than the speed of light?
Yeah. Because the Force is in the universe, man.
Oh, God.
He tapped into it. That's why.
If that's the case, then why didn't he know Han Solo died?
Because at that point, he wasn't tapped into the Force. Listen, here's my logic. When Rey showed up, he was completely shut off from the Force. I don't think he could even use the Force at that time unless he tried. He didn't even have a lightsaber. He didn't. The lightsaber he used was the one he saw.
The one he fucking... Whoop, that's the one he used. Okay? So at this point, I'm like...
Yeah, this is the kind of conversation we've been having kind of like on and off. It's just...
Bro.
He doesn't accept things, and I'm like... But this is why I think it's plausible.
This is coming from a guy we just established, Fast and the Furious. Okay?
Sure.
I don't accept it. That must mean some crazy ass shit happened, okay? Now, as this whole thing is going down, Leo, my face is literally like that, bro.
I was the opposite. I was just like, oh my God! Like, my mind was blown. My mind was straight blown. Like, oh, snap. Luke is projecting him, his physical form, and he can move and interact with others.
That's the bullshit that I don't accept, bro. It's either a hologram or it's not. You pick and choose. You don't go both. You don't cross streams. You know what happens there.
I know. But look, I accept it though, man. Okay. I just do.
So as if
Luke's that powerful.
As if that wasn't bad enough.
Okay.
I'm already like, they fucked this up in my mind. I'm like,
okay,
fuck this up. As soon as I saw that fucking Luke astral projection bullshit. Then, woo! I'm about to do the fucking Ric Flair, bro. Damn, son. It goes back to the planet. Luke is chilling, like he's worn out.
Sure.
From the Force, whatever the fuck, right?
From his concentration.
Yeah. And he looks into the sunset.
That was kind of dumb.
And he just fucking dies. He disappears. There's like... He was so happy stalling that was the action that was like, I've done my job here on this universe.
I'm gonna try to Luke Skywalker you right now, okay? The thing about this movie is that there's balance in the Force, okay? Luke, I think, finally understood what that balance was. It took Rey as the final catalyst.
We're about to get into Rey.
As the final catalyst to understand that the Force, he went too far. He went as far as like, almost like, I'm just going to exist. I'm no longer going to participate with the Force. I'm no longer going to actively use the Force for good. I'm just going to be. Okay? When he saw Rey, okay. When he saw Rey,
I like how you're scrambling in your own fandom to come up with some shit.
I'm still trying to figure Rey into this whole thing, but it's essentially Luke figured out what the Force is, and he mistrained Kylo as well. Ben, okay? So when he shows up to Ben, he actually says, "I'm sorry." Even Kylo says, "What are you here to save my soul?" It's too late.
It was so funny, by the way, a little side note. He's like, he's talking to Ben, and he's like, "I'm sorry." And then without missing a beat,
right.
Kylo's like, "I bet you are sorry." And I was just like, "Damn, son."
I mean, he's all emotion. But look, he I feel like he taught a lesson to Kylo, even though it was like throwing shit on a wall, right? It's just like there's no target. He's not going to receive it. But it's what Luke needed. He needed to ask forgiveness to Ben. I'm sorry for letting you down. I'm sorry for not being the teacher you needed. Because essentially that's what Snoke became. He became the teacher that Ben needed, and that's why he pulled him to the dark side.
But he didn't get an apology. He didn't accept the apology.
It's okay. He wasn't going to. He knew that.
What the fuck's the point then? The only one you should ask for an apology from we got, and that was from Leia. That's how I think he felt guilty the most.
But he felt like he failed them both.
He did.
He failed everybody. Everybody. He failed everybody.
He fucking did. He
did, and that's why he couldn't ask forgiveness to Han because he was dead.
Now, oh Jesus Christ. Let's talk Rey.
But wait, you're look. Sorry,
You want to keep talking?
That's not. I think that's a big lesson, man. Forgiveness.
He didn't get forgiveness from Rey. From Kylo.
I don't think he had to receive it. The mere fact of saying apologizing, and seeing Kylo finally literally engulfed in the dark side, the hatred that he had, because that was the most hatred you've ever seen from Kylo. He tried to kill him. And then he realized he was tricked, and then he tried to go in there and storm in with all his stormtroopers and kill everybody, but there was nobody in.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
You don't think Luke, at some point or another, was trying to telepathically speak to Ben as like, hey, I'm sorry? You wouldn't...
No,
you don't think Luke Skywalker would say that?
No, because he felt that he went to the dark side with his thoughts about killing Ben. And then when he realized that he turned dark in that moment, he was ashamed for the fact that he actually did go to the dark side. He actually was seduced in that moment by the thought of saving the universe by stopping this guy. So he actually didn't even have time to reflect on that because Ben turned on him at that moment.
I don't buy it. But let's talk Rey.
I buy it. I'll buy that for $1.
Now, Rey is one of those things that I was just kind of like, okay, well, I'm taking you back. Force Awakens happens.
Okay.
If you look at the review that we did with Force Awakens, one of the biggest gripes I had was, wait a second. This girl has not been training in the Force, has never even touched a lightsaber, and you're telling me that she beat the shit out of Kylo Ren and he couldn't beat her?
I think she was more prepared. Not more prepared.
No.
She had to have been more Force ready to be trained at that point than Kylo was.
She had no clue what it was. She had no clue what the Force was.
But they did say that she had everything she needed to be a Jedi.
No.
She had no training, so then that means she must be really powerful.
You cannot be a Jedi without training. You just can't. Let's just throw that out there.
The reason why we accept that is because of the canon movies that say you have to go to an academy, you have to be below this age, or else you go to the dark side afterwards, or you're more susceptible.
If I've never trained in boxing, I ain't gonna beat Mike Tyson.
You can't move things.
I cannot beat Mike Tyson.
Listen, it's the Force, man. You're already accepting the fact that it's a power that you can tap into.
First of all, with Rey, she wasn't just battle ready. She was stronger in the Force than Kylo Ren himself. Without training. If you don't know a starting point, you cannot convince me that she can do it.
I don't think we need to see that.
Can you acknowledge that point, though? She hardly knew anything about the
Luke.
Jedi.
She knew about Luke Skywalker and the legend.
She knew about the legend and the reputation, but she didn't know, like, he could do this and he can do that.
No.
Like, none of that was explained. Yet she didn't even see Kylo Ren do that mind trick on anyone. Yet she knows it and does it on the third try.
The Force woke up in her, bro. She was woke.
Power doesn't mean knowledge. Okay?
Which is why
I'm willing to accept the power.
Which is why
but not the knowledge, bro.
Which is why Kylo Ren still did he still threw her, man.
Who? When?
Rey. When she remember when they meet in the snow, right?
Yeah.
And she's about to blast him. Well, he throws her.
Well, here's the thing.
So there are things that he can do, but he just underestimated her.
Look, here's the thing the reason why I wasn't as hard on the Force Awakens, because I just thought, okay, look, she beat Kylo Ren because he just took a blaster hit to the hip.
Okay, sure. He was wounded.
He was fucking wounded.
Right.
He wasn't 100%.
Right.
And then he just got into a lightsaber battle with fucking Finn.
Mm-hmm.
That sliced his...
he got cut a little bit.
Got cut up on the shoulder, and I'm thinking, okay, This is believable here, okay? Because it's not like she's ignorant to like not wielding a weapon, right? She knows the staff. She's pretty good with the staff,
right?
And I'm thinking, okay, that I buy, okay, that she can hold her own physically. He's already wounded. I don't care if he's trained or not. He's took a shot to the damn hip and a cut to the damn arm. He's out.
She cut him a couple
right?
times too.
And she cut him a couple times too. He didn't cut her once. She has never lost to Kylo Ren to this day.
It was a physical fight. It was literally just a sword fight. There was no force being involved.
Even in force powers, as Kylo Ren's going into her mind, she's going into his.
That's part of the connection.
No. I'm talking Force Awakens.
Okay, I could say then that Snoke established a connection there.
No, you're just. I'm not gonna allow any fan to just throw shit out of their butt and just let it stick. I'm going off of what I saw and what we know, not what we think.
These movies are a lot about what we know in the background happening. It's not just what happens actively in the movies.
No, that connection was not established there. Come on, let's be honest here. Let's be intellectually honest.
Okay, sure. Okay.
It never happened.
Okay.
Now, cut forward The Last Jedi, they had a forced struggle, bro. They had the lightsaber.
Right. They're fighting for it. Right.
They're fighting for it. Tug of war here, right? They fucking were evenly matched. And all of a sudden, she's like even more powerful now than Kylo Ren. That is some weird shit. You gotta admit, that's weird.
It is weird. And my fandom tries to answer those questions.
And here's the thing.
The way I answer those questions is, he underestimates her.
He as he should. She's not trained.
He doesn't
and
know
he
her.
is.
Why do you think Snoke said, I want her now?
I don't think... No. He didn't want her. He wanted to kill her.
He wanted the knowledge of Luke.
He wanted the knowledge of Luke. Now, here's the thing that really was like, whoa, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense.
No,
because
wait a minute. Okay.
Snoke apparently is able to connect both Kylo and Rey as like on a Force kind of face time.
About that. Do you think in that scene where they touch hands, they were physically in that room together in the Force?
I wouldn't doubt it. But it wasn't clear.
That's where we first see the Force projection. Kylo Ren is being projected in that room.
No. We saw it before that because they were able to see each other. She was able to even see where Kylo was.
They couldn't see what was around them.
Kylo couldn't see what was around her. She could see what was around him.
I don't think so.
Yes, because she knew he didn't even have a shirt on.
They could see each other, though, not around them.
Here's the thing that's kind of mind-fucking me a little bit, right? Snoke was behind that connection,
the whole thing,
right?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So, Snoke must know where Luke is because she is right next to him. Yet he's powerful enough to connect both of them, and Luke's standing right next to her.
He knows that Luke is there, but he doesn't know the location.
He must know the location.
He can't.
He must know because if you don't know the location of something, you can't connect it to something else.
But the Force is like the internet. It's like air traffic.
Yeah, and each one has an IP address.
Not the Force, bro.
No,
Come on, the Force doesn't have an IP address.
They each have an IP address, bro.
It's just...
You can't just be like...
See, now you're getting too technical.
No. Because if that's the case, Snoke would just talk to Luke. Snoke would be having coffee and talking to Luke. What's up, Luke? Hey, when are you going to get your ass kicked, Luke? Come over here, son.
Let me think about that one for a second.
Let the fandom come up with an excuse. Now, literally, I'm thinking, how the hell did he do that?
If Snoke can connect two people, then he would have known the location of Leia the whole time.
But the thing is
he wouldn't have had to have done everything in the Force Awakens to find out where their base was.
See, but the thing is I would buy that.
Okay.
But there's one thing in your way.
Okay.
And that is that Kylo Ren knew that he even said, "Is that Luke?" He even said it because he heard the voice. Right. And if whatever Kylo Ren knows, Snoke knows. He's connected to both.
Sure.
So he now knows where the location is. She doesn't need Rey. But all of a sudden
I still don't think it gives away location because he couldn't see. And that's what I stick by.
If my phone...
Because you can tap into the Force, hey, just because you call me doesn't mean you know where I am exactly. You can connect, right? Because of air traffic, we can connect, right, via signal. The signal doesn't always establish location. It takes more to find out location.
It does.
I'll give that to you, though. I think Snoke should know. I think you're right. He should know.
He should have known.
That's sort of like a, wait a minute, if he can tap that, couldn't he know where that is? I get it. But I would say no, the Force doesn't give you that much.
And also,
power.
You know this to be true because when he astral projected himself right to Leia, he knew exactly where she is.
Okay.
Right? So it's like, there's no way he could know.
See, there, I want to say it's because they're siblings, right? Because when he was on Bespin, that's where he did. Yeah, he knew. He was able to tap into the Force and be like, Leia, help me.
Yeah, but Leia, like, let's just take Leia and Han. They're not siblings, yet she knows when Han dies.
That was weird.
Right?
We can go all
day. We can go all fucking day.
Because you know what? I'm glad you don't accept those things that I'm coming up with, because to me, that would be enough. Like, okay, Snoke isn't that powerful to be able to locate people and see, like, he can't turn on the TV and be like, oh, he's on that planet. Let's go get him. Because I think...
But apparently he could astral project himself to a new planet.
Who?
Luke.
No, I'm talking about Snoke.
And Snoke too.
Because Snoke would have... Look, if Snoke could do that, the fight would have been over a long time ago. He would have just sent spies and be like, infiltrate the rebellion and then just go kill him.
There's a lot of fucking weirdness going on here. There's a lot of weirdness. Now let's talk Leia.
Okay, let's talk Leia.
This one's very weird, man, because how... Now, I'm thinking going into this movie. Okay, Leia's gonna fucking die.
I assume that too.
Right? I mean, it's just normal. I mean, she's dead in real life.
And now we're thinking she's going to die, and we see in the trailer, there's a moment, sort of like a showdown between Kylo and her. So I'm like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
She's dead.
And I'm just thinking, okay, when is it going to happen?
Right.
Because I guess they could recast this.
Sure, they could easily.
Right?
I would accept it.
But it's one of those, like... fans are not gonna like that, and that's just asking for trouble, bro. That's just, they already said they're not gonna CGI face something, Leia anymore. So I'm thinking, okay, the opportunity was missed with the fucking missiles, bro. I was telling you about it. She took a direct hit, maybe in the first 20 minutes of the movie. I'm thinking this is perfect. She took a direct hit, 2 missiles. Into the fucking cockpit that she was at. Blows up. The fire is like spreading throughout the whole room. Okay? And it did. The fire spread throughout the whole room.
It just burned the front end, and it actually did burn
it burned every fucking thing.
It's a trap. What's his name?
God
damn it.
Yeah. It's a trap. His fucking name is like so eluding me right now.
Admiral Akbar.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. He does get sucked out, but she was all the way like inside that room. So when that happens, all the fire explodes around the glass and sucks instantly everybody out, and she gets sucked out into it. I don't think she necessarily was touched by the fire.
Dude, on the second viewing, I saw it. Because that was one of my gripes from the first time viewing. I'm like, okay,
sure,
maybe she didn't get hit with it, and maybe she just got sucked out. And I was all fucking eagle eyes, bro, on that one. The fire went all the way to Leia, and then sucked everything out really quick.
It didn't get close to her though, man.
It did.
Because there was people in between her layer and all the way in the back where Akbar was.
It fucking did, bro. You need to watch it a 5th time. It fucking did. But
okay.
I'm not even gonna like point. Yeah, whatever.
Fine. The fire did
whatever.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking, okay, even the force of the impact would like damage you, right? She gets sucked out into space, and I'm thinking, okay, that's how it's gonna end. That's it. Okay, that's a good.
We all felt the impact in the theater.
People were like, oh yeah.
And I was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
She's gone. That's how she dies.
And it was just like, okay, it could have been done a little bit better, but fuck it. She died in battle.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It is what it is. Good death. Out of fucking nowhere.
It's pretty fast. It's like within like the next scene is something else, and then it cuts right back to her.
Yeah. You see her hand fucking, moving, twitching, moving. And then all of a sudden she opens her eyes and she's fucking using the Force to pull her back into the ship. First of all, she's never used the Force that way, okay? First of all, she must be super. Does Snoke do that? Fucking live in space and just fucking fly around? I bet you Luke Skywalker can't do that. All of a sudden she's like a fucking...
There was a comic book.
Peggy Sue.
There was a comic book I read once where Luke is in space and he exits the X-Wing and he literally floats from the X-Wing into the other ship. And all he has is a little breathing mask.
Yeah, but she didn't have that. And she's old as fuck. I'm going to say she probably used, like, the Force in little ways.
Like, to feel out
within the
people
30 years that we haven't seen her.
Sure.
I mean, she must have, whatever.
Yeah.
But a full-on space pull from space into another ship? I don't know about that, bro. Like,
look,
first of all, if you're in space... I'm not even going to get into that. Here's what I thought was kind of weird, too, okay?
Sure, I agree with that.
So, she pulls herself back into the fucking... she puts her hand on the door. Boom! They open... This is when I knew it was bullshit, bro, okay? They open up the door. They didn't get sucked out. Inside is pressurized, bro.
Okay, there's another scene. The bombing run scene where Paige is like, she's trying to kick the thing. Those bay doors are open to space. She's not getting sucked out. The bombs aren't getting sucked out. The remote didn't get instantly sucked out. And she has time to reach down, pull it back up, drop the bombs. Like, as soon as the
Which gravity doesn't apply there.
Right.
But
they should have been sucked out.
Yeah.
See, already there, that was weird.
Okay.
So, okay. All right.
So, I feel like we've just been trashing on this, like, especially me.
You know what? I've been actually trashing it with you. I've been agreeing with a lot of shit, and I like it. It's crazy.
So let me switch it up a bit, okay? Hold'em went light speed.
My God, look, that scene. Every time I've seen it, nobody says a word.
Everyone grasps.
And it's literally like you hear the last gasps as it's happening. You're like, whoa. It's dead quiet. It's a beautiful scene.
Beautiful scene.
I love that.
That's gonna make a great poster.
Oh, I want to picture that. It's the cool thing about that is like we've never seen a ship use as a weapon against other ships, which you would think by now people do it all the time, like kamikazes, right?
Sure.
Like just they're gonna kill themselves by sacrificing and hitting one of the First Order ships.
Now, the last character I want to talk about we haven't touched on is oh my God, the silver stormtrooper.
Oh my God, Phasma.
Captain Phasma. What a fucking waste, bro.
Okay, I did have a problem with Phasma because I actually really liked the way that character looked.
She shows up, literally, and this time she gets like a hit on Finn. Just one. And then Finn kills her.
I mean, look, she is more physically able than Finn, but she's distracted and he catches her off guard.
Bro, the janitor beat her.
I know. I would like to think, though, because... Okay, here's another thing. So stormtroopers do other duties aside from fighting?
Probably, dude.
And, I mean, he's wearing a stormtrooper suit.
At this point, it doesn't bother me that a janitor beats the captain of the forces because, we also have an untrained girl with power beating a fully trained guy, a Sith Lord. So, to me, it's like no big deal.
Look, it is weird.
Yeah!
It is weird, man. It is weird. I think Phasma, they should have kept her alive or something. And then...
Fuck that, so they can throw it in the garbage again. Episode
the third
9,
time.
Yeah, get your ass back in there.
Finn should have died.
Oh, shit.
Finn should have died, man.
Oh, speaking of,
Finn
dude,
really should have died.
So glad you brought that
Finn
up,
really
Leo.
should have died, dude.
There's so many things that I wanted to talk about that I want us to talk about.
Take this alley-oop,
when it comes to this movie. I completely forgot that. That was another one of those, like, you gotta be fucking kidding me kind of moments.
That was weird.
We have, and that would have been a great death. Granted, it's a junkyard fucking jet. It's a little stiff. It's a little piece of shit jet. Yeah. He's flying full speed to destroy the fucking laser cannon that's about to infiltrate the fucking base.
It's melting the door slowly, by the way.
It's melting.
It's heating it up.
I like how it's melting the ship, but not him.
Not him. He's just straight looking into it. I know.
He's been full Fast and the Furious, bro.
I was really waiting for his skin to start coming off. It's gone at this point.
Hell yeah. Woo. Shit.
That was, yeah, they fucked up. Man.
So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna pass that because
Sure.
Fast and the Furious. I'm all about it. I'll choose to accept that.
Sure.
He's flying full speed. I'm thinking, okay, this is an honorable death here. He's about to sacrifice himself to save the captain,
right.
Leia, the crew, Poe, everyone. And here comes Rose at full speed, bro. First of all, his shit's already melted. Okay, his shit's half melted.
You're forgetting the fact that she had turned around and she was going back.
Oh, I know.
So while he was already like way gone,
he was like a quarter mile out, sure. Bro. Yeah. So all of a sudden, she's flying into the rescue, and by rescue, full on crash at full speed to Finn.
Don't forget, winning is winning. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or
a
mile.
Jesus Christ! She made it. Yeah,
she made it.
So she crashes into him.
Yeah.
No one dies. No one dies. I'm not talking about like a 35-mile-per-hour car, okay? Now, hell, even you could die from a 35-mile-per-hour car crash if your car's half melted with no safety belts.
I'll give him this. They were kind of slow ships. I'm assuming she didn't hit him.
Are you about to justify this shit? Are you about to justify this?
I want to try to.
Oh, man.
Look, I'm assuming she didn't hit him with her part of the cockpit head on to his. It was the wing part. So that's why if you see it, like,
this is what this movie does to people.
Okay, sure, I'll accept that. When they crash,
you see, he hit him with the corner, and this corner is heavily bumpered out, and it had airbags in it. But hit the ship flew up.
They should have died, man. They really should have.
Both of them.
Yeah, instantly.
And it's like Rose thing is like we shouldn't fight. We shouldn't fight like we.
It's not about fighting. It's about protecting the things you love.
And
that's what it is.
And not defeating the things you
hate. Yeah.
Or
sure.
something like bullshit like that.
Love trumps hate.
And I'm like, bitch, you just killed our crew because you wouldn't let me sacrifice myself to save them. Mm-hmm. She had no idea Luke was on his way to the rescue. She didn't know. And by rescue, I mean the stall game. There was no rescue on Luke.
Stall game.
Yeah. And it's like, second of all, you should know, Rose, the character, should know the importance of sacrifice.
Sure.
Guess who did sacrifice herself? Her sister? In the
Nobody
beginning
stopped
of the
her.
movie.
Nobody stopped her.
No one stopped her.
In fact,
they were saying,
Poe was like, drop those bombs.
Yeah, Poe was saying, kill yourself, bitch. You gotta save us. And that's when I was like, that was the last, gotcha.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna die.
He's gonna
fucking die.
It's because they want to save that love triangle,
bro. And speaking of, after they survive the miraculous jet crash, Finn goes up to her. Yeah, sorry. Why'd you do that? She does. She gives out a little fucking message and then fucking sexually assaults Finn by kissing him. Haven't we learned anything from Trump? You can't just grab him by the pussy.
You can't
just go in for the kiss, bro. You need consent.
Can I kiss you, Finn?
Did you see Finn's face? He's like,
yeah, he was like,
oh man, that was an awkward ass kiss, man. Okay, dude, rating time. Oh, Jesus Christ. You go first. I'll go first. Fuck it. The first time I watched this movie, no Blu-ray buy for me. This was
shocked.
Garbage. Okay, I was so mad. Second viewing, I went in and I'm like, okay, look, I already know the sections that pissed me off. I'm just gonna accept it. And the second time I viewed it, I was like, okay, I can see why people like this. Mm-hmm. I can see why people may think it's not so bad. Hopefully, after you see this review, you're like, dude, those guys are totally fucking right. This movie blows.
Look, we don't want to sugarcoat this. I actually have been. And when we started talking about it, I was like, you know what? He's got a good point. There's a lot of things in the movie that I saw that I literally was like, oh, there's an excuse for that. There has to be. There's no way that let's go right to the end where we're talking about Finn. Like, there's no way Finn can survive this moment. And even with the crash, you just, without getting seriously hurt.
At least a broken arm. Sell it to me.
Sure.
Sell it
to
me.
Like, they're both on the ground. Like, the rebels find them afterwards. Something.
And here's the more bullshit part about it. While they're interacting and changing and fucking sexually assaulting each other, the bad guys are just staring.
Oh, not just that. They're blasting Luke. They're still out there when Luke's getting blasted.
Luke hadn't showed up yet, bro.
No, but he shows up and he fights Kylo. They still have time to get in. That's when he's like, I need a medic. Luke didn't even get to that gun. They still had time to move forward. And then when they get to a certain place, that's where Luke shows up. So by the time Luke showed up, Finn and Rose had been out there for a long ass time. Or even the guys that were right by the cannon, like, hey, let's go check that wreckage there. What was that about?
This guy just tried to suicide bomb us. Fuck it.
Hey, he's trying to kamikaze
Hey,
us.
he's right there, man. Hey, man, he's like 3 miles out from the base over there. We got plenty of time to shoot that motherfucker.
Did you notice how a lot of the pilots look like kamikaze pilots, especially Paige?
I didn't notice
she looked like a Japanese pilot, like from World War II. It was interesting.
Anyways, second viewing, I'm like, okay, I can see some coolness here. Certain things didn't bother me as much the second time around because I just already accepted it. So I went from a 4 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. It's still a bad movie.
I think that's fair, dude.
But it's better than a 4 out of 10. I'll tell you that.
Sure, that's just like I should have hated it.
It's a D plus is what it is for me.
There's a lot more that I liked than the things that momentarily would take me out of the movie. So for me, I think I rated The Force Awakens an 8.5 or a 9. I think this movie's I think this one's a solid 7. I keep going back and forth between 7 and an 8 because the more I'm watching it, I dwell a lot more on Luke. I dwell on Leia. I dwell on Kylo because Kylo's definitely my favorite character.
Sure, mine too now. To be honest with you.
I give this movie an 8. Okay, it's a solid 8. There are a lot of problems with this movie, but I enjoy it every time I see it. So I think it might be different when I get it home and I can watch it comfortably and skip scenes and stuff like that. But what I love about this movie is the fact that they didn't do Empire Strikes Back. Okay, where let's say Rey gets a limb cut off. Okay, Snoke completes Kylo's training, and somebody gets taken, like Finn or Poe or Leia, right? Like they did with Han. They sort of combined Jedi and they combined Empire Strikes Back. They did a few things from the prequels, which I think that alone is... They did a good job with that. Tonally, the movie fits within the series. But those twists... It's like, take it with a grain of salt. When you watch this movie, make up your own opinions about it. If you don't like it, then that's fine. There's a lot of things I don't like about the movie. Like, everything we've talked about, I really don't like. But what I do enjoy about the movie is the progression of Luke and him understanding the Force and revealing to the audience, the fans, hey, listen, remember what the Force was in those prequels and what we thought it was in the original trilogy? It's actually more than that. It's not ours. It's not ours to take, but we've been taught to control it and to battle evil with it. So I'm curious to see where that message goes into the next movie, where they progress the Jedi Order, because clearly, we're going to see more Jedi in the next movie. I don't know what's going to happen to this guy, to that guy. I assume one of the big 4 characters was going to die.
Oh, yeah.
Between Poe, Rey, Kylo, and Finn. None of them died.
None of them.
I really do hope one of them dies next movie.
Because to end the trilogy, you have to get rid of the bad guy.
But the thing is...
Or convert him, which I don't think they're going to do.
And I hope they touch on this. Can we ever actually get rid of the First Order / Empire now? Can we ever get rid of them? I don't think
so, bro. Dude, the numbers are outnumbered. They are outnumbered like totally bad. Anyways, guys, on that note, if you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.